Okay, so hello and welcome. So glad to have you guys with us. I'm really excited for today's session. We're going to be doing our 2025 Internet Marketing Plan session. And really, this is for you to kind of think about your goals and your targets for the year. How does that break down by month? And more importantly, from a marketing perspective, what strategies, what marketing initiatives do you need to put in place to make that a reality? So that's the focus for today. And open up the chat here. So I have that in front of me. And so drop a 1 in the chat if that's cool with you, if you're ready for this. And make sure the chat is on. Everyone, there we go. Okay, great. So looking back on 2024, love to know how you thought it went. If you were reflecting on 2024, good or bad, how did it go? If you had to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 2 or 10 being you crushed it, you hit your goals, you feel really good about 2024. Drop that in the chat. Let me know how that went for you. And yeah, so this is interactive. So I'd love for some feedback in there, and see a couple of you have entered in there. Let me see the participants. There we go. All right. So welcome everybody. All right. So here's the plan for the session. We're going to set clear goals and targets for the year. We're going to realign KPIs and tracking to achieve outcomes. We're going to map out your plan for accomplishment, right? Budget, channels, important trends heading into 2025, and set you up for massive success in 2025 and beyond. So I have a workbook. I have a workbook to go along with this webinar today. Visit hospicecaremarketing.com/workbook. And what you're going to do is it's going to open up a Google Doc. So I'll slide this over here. It's going to open up a Google Doc where it'll force you to make a copy. So you'll make a copy of that and save that. Once you do that, I don't have access to it. This is not, so, use this however you see fit. But yeah, so we're going to be tracking along in that document. I'm not going to dive into it right now, but just a little bit about me before we get started. I'm the author of the book Internet Marketing for Hospice Providers, widely accepted as a premier expert in the internet marketing space for hospice. And we've worked with dozens of hospice providers from coast to coast. And I think more importantly, I think that's the most important part, right? This is not based on a book I read or some theory that I came up with. This is based on real world examples. This is what we do. This is our team. We're writing, we're building the websites. We're doing the SEO. We're running the Google ad campaigns. We're helping our clients with generating reviews, and we're writing the content. This is what we do every day, right? So we're on a mission to help 1,000 hospice providers across the country triple their sales by getting their internet marketing right. And if after today's session, you feel like you'd like our help, you'd like to look at what we can do, right? This is more of a group session. So something really happens when we sit down one-to-one, we look at your goals, your targets, and we map out a plan for that accomplishment. And there's something to be said for that. So, you'll spend one-on-one, we'll look at your website, your rankings, all that good stuff. So you can always do that. Visit hospicecaremarketing.com/schedule, and we'll set up that one-to-one session for you. So really excited about today's session. And really, I think the first step in everything here is setting clear goals, right? We have to set clear goals, clear targets. Really doesn't make a lot of sense to start doing a bunch of marketing without having a goal, right? A target in mind. So that is going to be our first step. right? So what are your goals for 2025? Have you set them? If not, please open up your workbook and we're going to start to dive into it. Now, if you think about the sailboat, right, out there drifting with no wind in its sail, right, where's it going to go? It's just going to go where the water takes it, right? So having those goals, right, you set clear goals, that provides the wind in your sails. So I encourage you to please do this work right now, and let's open up that workbook and look at that. If you scroll down, what are your goals and targets for the year, right? What is your current snapshot? So if we look at 2024, what was the average monthly revenue? So go ahead and jot that down right now. And then the next thing, average monthly census, right? How many patients do you guys service on a monthly basis? And then a couple other key metrics here are going to be the average value per patient, right? So what is the average value per patient? Please jot that down here. And your average conversion. So this you might not know if you're not getting a lot of calls from the internet and a lot of new patients from the internet. You might not know this numbers, and that's okay. Once you start to do it, once you start to field those calls and start to get more people coming from the internet, this is a good thing to keep track of. So again, here I'll open up I opened up the workbook. What you where we're at right here, I think it's like the third page, is right here. So jot that number down: average monthly revenue, average monthly census, average value, and average conversion. All right. And drop that number in the chat for you guys that are in here. Jennifer, John, Joe, please drop that number in the chat. What your current monthly revenue is, and then we'll move on. All right, so now 2025, right? So annual revenue. What is your goal for? Are we growing by 50%? Are we growing by 30%? What is that goal for 2025, right? How many patients will you be servicing by the end of 25? If we can look ahead and stand in December of 2025, where do you want to be? And I think the next thing here is why. Why do you want to be there, right? Jot that down. I think this is really important, right? What's going to be different if you hit that goal? How will your life be better? What is going to change for you if you hit that goal? So again, let me see in the chat who came up with their annual revenue goal for 2025. Please put that in the chat. And we'll move on here. So in your worksheet, so I gave you the link for the workbook. Now I have another one for your worksheet, right? So this is where we're going to enter some numbers and do some math, kind of break down month by month, how much revenue we're shooting for if we're trying to hit a certain goal. So now if you visit that link, hospicecaremarketing.com/worksheet, it's going to do the same thing. Have you make a copy, and that's going to be your little sheet there. And what that's going to open up here, something like this. So if our goal is to get to, 10 million, right? It's going to break that. It's going to automatically divide that by 12 and break down, we need 833,000 on a monthly basis, right? And then if you have the average ticket here at 68.65, how many patients would be required on a monthly basis to hit that goal, right? If it's 121, then we can start to look at, okay, how many leads do we need on a monthly basis to hit that target, right? So if our conversion rate was, if I edit this, 30%, right? We would need 400 leads to hit that target. Now, some of you might not be, shooting for this high of a number. Let's want you to make this realistic, right? Something that's going to be achievable, right? And so go ahead, open that worksheet, jot those numbers in. And so how many leads will you need monthly to get there, right? To hit that goal. If your goal was, whatever it was, drop that number in the chat. How many leads will you need monthly to get there? All right. And so we've set a clear goal, right? Next, number 2 here is your marketing strategy. Going into 2025, there's a lot of trends out there, right? So I think we'll take a look at that real quick. And AI is a big one. With ChatGPT, Claude, all these different AI tools out there, Google is still a huge focus, right? But more and more people are using AI, and if people are getting better answers, things like that, it's going to start to increase. And ChatGPT is now baked into the Bing search results. So you want to also consider how you're ranking on Bing and ChatGPT search directly. It's definitely something to pay attention to. Do you have like online scheduling on your website? Do you have the ability, or does a customer have the ability to schedule on your website? Not everyone that's on your website is in a position to call. They just want to take it off their plate. Maybe they want to schedule a call for later in the day. So give them that option. Right, more and more people are expecting this with websites. So definitely something to pay attention to is your online scheduling, and then two-way text messaging. Right now, again, customers are expecting this. They're using this feature on many other websites. Some of your competitors might already be doing this. So give your patients the option to text versus call. Right? Not everyone likes to pick up the phone. And AI lead follow-up, especially via two-way text messaging, is something to pay attention to. Definitely, we have this baked into our CRM that we use for our clients, and called Nurture Hub. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But I think what can really separate you from all this AI, a lot of your competitors might be doing this, right? But they might be creating content out there, right? That's going to help improve their SEO, things like that, help them show up more frequently if they're providing a lot of content on their website, and with the use of AI. I think what can really separate you from them that no one can really replicate, right? And I know they have AI tools out there that can create video and voices and all that stuff, but authentic video content can really separate you from your competitors. So definitely something to pay attention to there. And this is our accelerated growth model, right? So when we start working with the client, there's a number of things that we have to solve for, right? One is we have to drive leads, right? Two, we have to maximize conversion, right? So we have to drive leads, and if we're not maximizing the conversion, right, the conversion effectiveness of our website, of our reputation online, with some automation, if we're not doing these things, we're not taking advantage of every lead that we get, right? So we'll have to spend more to get the result. So definitely need to drive leads, maximize conversion, and then optimize results, right? We have to know what's working, what's not working, remove the things that aren't working, and optimize our return on investment. So the first thing we're going to look at here is the organic SEO, right? I feel this is the foundation of all your marketing, right? So there's a number of things to do on and off of your website when it comes to SEO. In today's session, we're not going to dive deep into that. For one, I don't want to put you guys to sleep. But there's things done on the website and off the website to maximize your SEO. Starts with your website, on page, and then some things like building links and things like that, creating content on other websites to get the result that you're after. I pulled up a quick thing. This was a client here that we had, or we still have. You can see the lion's share of their traffic comes from the organic side of the organic search. And you can see the calls that they get compared to the pay-per-click. It's the lion's share of them come from the organic search, right? And so the next thing we have to solve for is paid search, right? So organic SEO, I feel like that's the foundation of everything. Then we can start to layer in some paid search campaigns. And this diagram kind of shows this beautifully, right? Like the organic is that's going to be your lowest cost per lead. Like you don't have to pay every time someone clicks to your website, right? So having that, getting that 80% or something, 70% of the people click organically, right? Compared to ads. And so having that foundation set is critical. And then we can start to look at paid search, right? Like with Google ads. And from there, I wouldn't spend, another dime on any of these other things unless we have a couple other things in place, right? Like retargeting and some automation, right? So we want to maximize the conversions here. So with some automation and some retargeting, because not everyone that visits your website is going to reach out or at that time. So now we can follow them around and bring them back to the website. We'll have a much more likelihood of converting at that time. And so and then there's other things here that the lion's share of our clients are in these first two categories, right? But we don't need to, it depends how much they want to grow and how much budget they have. But if there's other directories and things out there like Yelp that you can advertise on. If you have some other budget, and same with the social media stuff. People don't go to social media looking for a hospice company, right? So it's there's no intent. It's interruption-based marketing. You're trying to get yourself known. So that's something we would layer in after these two, right? If there's some budget left over, but hope that makes sense. And looking at a specific client here in Google Ads, right? The cost per conversion, right? We had 246 conversions, and the cost per was about $60. They spent 14,000 here. So if we looked at the number of leads from specifically about the Google ads, right? 246, and we say 30% of them converted, right? Came on service. Now, 246 times 30%, that would be 73 new admissions, right? If the average ticket was $6,800, right? 73 new admissions times 6,800, right? Equals 500 grand. So 500 grand divided by the spend here is a 33 times ROI. So the power that with running these is evident, right? So every dollar they got 33 back. With a 30% conversion rate. So why I see most pay-per-click campaigns fail right? They set up only one ad group. They're sending the traffic to the homepage of the website. Right? They're not using specific text ads. They're not using specific landing pages for specific groups of keywords, right? And then the ads are not matching exactly what people are typing in, right? And then there's no strong call to action on the landing page. So that's why I see a lot of pay-per-click campaigns fail. Let me know in the chat, have you guys done pay-per-click for your hospice? How has that worked for you? Love to know. And then if you are running a Google Ads campaign and you'd like us to review that and see what could be done better, what we would do differently, I'd love to do that for you. But yeah, it's best to have a dashboard, right? So you can keep tabs on like what you're spending and how many conversions are we getting. And I think that the next thing you hear to drive leads is database, right? Your database marketing. This might be sort of, filled with people. Try to stay top of mind, right? It's kind of low-hanging fruit. If you send them a monthly email, right, so you're staying top of mind, you're really gonna, max it. And some people come to your website, they might fill out a form, they never things got busy, they never called you back. Now you can touch them again. Here's another touch point for that lead that came in, that unconverted lead. So I'd love to know where you're at here. If we look at the red, yellow, green, like how would you rate how you're doing? And so you can do this in your workbook if you followed along here. Let's see here. Yeah, so please highlight, any areas that need work. Like, how are you doing organically in your paid side of things and with database marketing? Any of that could be better. Let me know in the chat if any of those come up for you red. If any of those have come up for you red, right? That's what you want to focus on in 2025. And maybe it's database, maybe it's paid advertising, Google Ads. So go ahead, drop that into the chat. And we'll move on here. So I was driving leads. Now we're under maximizing conversions, right? And we're going to look at the website. So I have a list here also in your workbook. There's things you can do to maximize the conversion effectiveness of your website, right? And I'm not going to list every single one of these. It's already in your workbook. But is your website set up to convert at a high level, right? And you can check these things off. Like, are you using real authentic imagery, right? Mark that down in your workbook, right? And these are some things that you can consider changing in 2025. A couple solid examples, right, are a couple of our clients here. Maybe I'll pull one up here. And what we're accomplishing here, what we're trying to accomplish here, right, is a nice big phone number in that upper right-hand corner, right? And we're giving people an option to schedule online, right? And then we also have a two-way chat with some text messaging, right? So we're all above the fold here. We're using authentic imagery, some real images of the team, not some stock photo, which we've had for some of our clients, and they still do well. But to really enhance the conversions, you want to think about that. Get that photo shoot done. It will pay dividends. So, is your website set up to convert visitors? Answer those questions in the chat, and we'll continue to move on. let's see here. Now, your reputation, right? There are some things to do with your reputation, right? I mean, who would visit a restaurant that's rated a 2-star, right? They looked it up and they have no stars, or like 1 star. Who's gonna go line up and go eat at that restaurant? Not a lot of people. So there's tools out there, Review Buzz, Bird Eye, that can help you generate these reviews. And we have this in our CRM. We have these systems to make capturing reviews easy, right? And you can see we're generating a lot of reviews for our clients. And I mean, thousands of people see this every single month. Thousands of people. And that's what really drives their phone calls. So that's how we're going to maximize conversion, right? The conversion effectiveness of our website, our reviews, and some automation, right? The next thing here. A big problem with people with businesses websites out there, right, is unconverted leads, right? A lot of web forms, they fail to convert. 90% of them, some people don't get back to them right away. So someone fills out a form on your website, they're hoping for a callback, and maybe someone gets to it the next day. That person's already moved on, right? So 90% of web forms fail to convert. 50 to 60% of the traffic that's on your website, they leave unconverted. So here's why. The leads that are not followed up with within 15 minutes, they go cold, right? So they're not. If you're reaching out to them an hour later, they're not likely to answer the phone. Maybe they were on lunch at work when they filled that form out. And the average customer, they must be followed up with 5 to 7 times before answering a call or booking a service, right? And today's consumer prefers to interact via text message versus a phone call or an email. So the solution is to leverage marketing automation, right? Follow up those web forms within the first minute of submission, right? We're going to touch that person right away. We're going to automate the follow-up so that every prospect is touched 5 times, and now they can engage via text, right? So we're giving them that option. And we do this with our CRM Nurture Hub. So if you want some more information on that, please go ahead and visit nurturehubcrm.com. Happy to walk you through that. And next thing we're going to do here is in your workbook, let's go ahead and give yourself a rating here on the conversion side of things, right? How are you doing on your website? Is your website set up to convert? Are you using real authentic imagery? Do you have videos on your website? Do you have a phone number in the top right corner? How are you collecting reviews? Do you have a system to automatically ask for a review when someone comes on service, when you've interacted with someone? And then automation. Are you leveraging marketing automation? Do you have the ability does your patients have the ability to text versus call when they're inquiring about services? All right. So the next thing here is to optimize results. We have to know what our total spend is. And then, how much are we planning to grow? Are we doing how much are we investing into our marketing? Are we investing 3%, right, to stay stagnant? Are we looking to grow? Are we really looking to grow? We want to be above 15% marketing spend. And then the average cost per lead, we have to know what the average cost per lead is and ROI, right? What is our return on investment? So I'd love to know where you're at there. Total spend, what is your marketing budget for the year. What is the total spend? What did you spend last year? And how did that work out for you? And what is your average cost per lead? So any takeaways? What areas do you need to focus on most? What is the most, or what is the lowest hanging fruit? Drop that in the chat. See, there's still a few of us with me today. All right. And 3, plan your focus, right? So we have a budget planner to plan out like how much should we spend in each marketing channel to really maximize its performance. Here, this is a little note here. I have a case study on our website you can visit. But yeah, within the first year of our collaboration with our client in the Atlanta market, they had their calls increase like up to 30%. And then the year after, it increased again by 50%. So in that first year, right, 30% people were finding them and calling. And that came from a combination of doing a number of things, right? Setting up the website, setting up reviews, the SEO, right? We optimized their SEO, so now they're showing up in the search results for a number of different keywords. And then we ran some Google ads, right? So that's a number of things that we did for them. So what would it mean for you? What would it mean for you? And let's apply this for your hospice. If you need help, let's schedule a consultation, right? We'll do a ranking report and SEO review. We'll analyze your website for the conversion effectiveness. We'll create a custom keyword list and show you a ranking report where you're ranking, what can be done differently to obtain those rankings that we're after. We'll look at your online directories, your reviews and reputation, your social media presence, and more importantly, we'll sit down and map out your goals, show you what could be done differently on your website. We'll also show you some of the things that we've done for our clients and what's it meaning for them. So visit hospicecaremarketing.com/schedule, and we'll do that free one-on-one analysis. But yeah, this is our accelerated growth model. Each month moving forward into 2025, we're going to be looking at a number of different things. We'll have a number of these webinars where we dive deeper into the website, into optimizing for Google Maps and optimizing your SEO, right? Optimizing your pay-per-click campaigns and your reputation. So hope this was helpful for you guys. Before we end today, what are the top action items that you want to solve for in 2025, right? Is it your website? Is it your SEO? Is it your pay-per-click, right? So what are some action items that you want solved for? And again, let's apply this to your hospice. I do have a checklist that can make this easy for you. If you visit hospicecaremarketing.com/checklist, download that checklist, and you can start to look like, okay, well, how is my website? Do I need to add some imagery, right? If you have some authentic imagery, give it a check mark. But if it's missing some video elements, maybe we can add some video elements to enhance the conversion effectiveness, right? Maybe the phone number is not in the right place. Maybe people have to scroll down to find it, right? So that's something you can change to really help in that area. So that's it. So what we covered today was setting some clear goals. Hopefully you have a target for the year for 2025, where you want to be at the end of 2025. You'll have the wind in your sails. Realign KPIs and tracking to achieve outcomes. We mapped out your plan for accomplishment with budget and channels and important trends, and set you up for massive success in 2025 and beyond. So please visit hospicecaremarketing.com/schedule. Again, our team is on a mission to help 1,000 hospice providers triple their sales by getting their internet marketing right. So hospicecaremarketing.com/schedule or give us a call 877-959-5849 and we'll talk. Thank you. We look forward to massive success in 2025 and beyond. We'll see you soon.